Now, January is National Personal Self-Defense Awareness Month, and with the rising number of violent and scary incidents we've seen against women, the time is now for us to learn how to protect ourselves. So joining us today to share some moves and tips to stay safe and vigilant, please welcome martial arts media personality, Phoenix Carnavale.
Hey, Phoenix! So great to have you.
You know, welcome to the show, Phoenix. Can you tell us, what is the number one thing you think women should know when it comes to protecting themselves?
I think the first thing is to know that it starts mentally before it starts physically, right? It starts with situational awareness, knowing what the heck's going on around with you, keeping your head out of your phone, and more importantly, trusting your instincts. You know, that's more important than any technique, kick, punch that I'd show you, is to really trust your instincts. I think as women, sometimes we're afraid, we don't want to be thought of as too sensitive, we're trying to be polite. But one of the things the NYPD shared with me is that people kind of felt that spidey sense. They felt something was wrong, something was going to happen, and they didn't trust their gut instincts. So I think that's really, really important to know that we have those instincts for a reason, that we're animals. Those are our animal instincts. So if you're feeling something is off with your spidey senses, you should trust it.
I love that. Other than your gut, what is the first step of self-defense, other than following your gut?
Okay, so if it does get physical, there's a couple important things to know. And one of those things is when you strike, you want to use your entire body. You want to use your adrenaline. You want to use the emotions that you're having, because hitting the bag in the gym is way different than being in an actual physical altercation. And not all altercations are created equal. You know, drunk Bob at the Christmas party doesn't deserve the same intent as somebody who's trying to attack you in a parking lot. You know, there's very different ways to approach things. But the most important thing is to fight back and to continue to fight. Because let's say you try one of these self-defense moves and they don't work. What you're trying to do is create enough distance and space to stall, to get help, and to get the heck out of there.
I hear
so
that.
you continue to keep fighting and protect yourself.
Right.
Right, that is so true. Now, what are some things to remember if it does become physical, especially if you're smaller than your attacker?
All right, so it's not a movie, right? So not every strike is created equal, but there's
Right.
three things to keep in mind. One, everybody, no matter how big or small, has vulnerable areas, and that's going to be the eyes, the bridge of the nose, the jawline, the throat, the groin, the kneecaps. You know, your hardest areas, like your elbows, your palms, your knees, against their most vulnerable areas. And then number three, BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 101, take the joint in the position it doesn't go. And I know I'm oversimplifying things, but those are three things to kind of keep in mind.
Oh,
Take
okay.
the joint in the
Yes.
position it doesn't go.
Yeah, I want to see some moves. Okay, now this first one we're about to see is called self-defense striking. Explain it to us. What do we do here?
Okay, look, so if you're not a trained martial artist, everybody's hands go in the position of a fist position. So even Mike Tyson broke his hand when he tried to throw a punch. So you can use your hammer fist, which is the back part of your hands, or even your forearms to strike those vulnerable areas, like the bridge of the nose or across the body. You know, you can use your knees, your elbows, which are a fantastic move. And then my favorite is actually the palm strike, which is the hard part of the palm to the face, to the bridge of the nose. Anything that helps you create that distance and space so you can get the heck out of there.
Wow.
To the bridge of the nose. Ouch. This next one is called shrimping. Tell us about this one.
Okay, so let's say it does go to the ground. The first thing is you don't want to fall flat on your back. You want to be able to roll to your side. Use your legs as if they're hands to try to push off the distance. So you'll see I'm putting my shin across Bryce's stomach to try to avoid him getting mount position or sitting on top of me where there's not much that I can do. And this is where those Pilates classes pay off, where you're learning how to bridge and use your hips and kick with your legs. So I put my feet on his hips to push him out. Get out of there, create that distance and that space.
Oh, I see. You see, she's getting under him
that is
That's
so
what-
with her legs.
great.
Got it. Okay.
There's another one we want to talk about, Phoenix. It's called the face sandwich. Can you walk us through that one?
Sure. So using the strong strength of my palm strike, you see the grip that he has? I'm gonna make a C curve with my body and go against his thumb. So I'm generally pushing off his face and causing discomfort and forcing his hands to break apart. So that's one major thing. And hey, if it doesn't happen right away, throw some elbows, and then start to create that distance in the space. So I like to think of like the YMCA. You wanna make that C curve with your back to break up that distance and that hand grip. It's really hard to keep your hands together when someone's pushing against that thumb.
Wow. Okay, Phoenix, are there any items you recommend women always keep with them for self-defense?
I know that people talk about mace a lot or pepper spray, but if
Yeah.
it's in the bottom of the abyss that is your pocketbook, it's not going to do much use to you.
Okay.
So you want to
True.
keep anything that you're using for self-defense easily and readily available. I love keys, and you can just kind of hold them in a sort of like poking position, as opposed to people think that you use your fist. It doesn't work very well, but this is kind of like a minor stabbing device, which is really good. Or if you're coming home for the gym and you have like a heavy water bottle, that towards the bridge of the nose is really good. Rolling up a magazine. I mean, just think of yourself as Jackie Chan and be very creative. But also know that your body has those strong points too, like your elbows, the tip of your elbows, that palm strike, your knees. You just want to be as creative as possible. Creating distance and space is a major thing.
Yeah.
We don't have this as a question, but I'm curious. Is screaming good to do, or should you just save your energy with fighting back?
Your voice is your most powerful weapon.
Okay.
It is your most powerful weapon. Just think about it. If somebody's trying to attack you, they don't want you to make a lot of noise and bring a lot of attention to that area. So scream, act like an absolute banshee, go crazy,
Yes.
create that
Yes.
energy or adrenaline that kind of freaks that person out too,
Yes.
and also creates like you're an alarm. You want to be your own car alarm at that moment.
Perfect.
Bring attention to
I
the
love this.
situation.
I'm so happy we did this. A great way to start the year, you guys.
That's right.
Yep.
Phoenix, thank you so much for being here today and showing us how to put our safety first. We really appreciate you.